So as mentioned in the previous video, I'm going to go ahead and begin explaining how this mod works and how it impacts your ability to play World of Warcraft, including navigation and doing some quest interactions at a basic level. So when you first start the game, it would give you a tutorial if you've never used the add-on before that would go over some of this stuff, but sometimes it's just a little more effective to have it explained to you from a person rather than a screen reader or AI voice for those who've never really worked with it in the past. So, as of right now, I am in Elwyn Forest, actually Northshire Valley, and I'm a level 1 Warlock. And so I'm going to go ahead and go through some of these opening quests with you and show you how to do some interactions in the game world. So to be able to interact with any of the NPCs in the environment, there is something that you have to have enabled, and it is called soft targeting. Soft targeting makes it so that if I were to turn my camera, if there is somebody within my area, the game will dictate to me who that being is and which one is selected. In this case, Deputy Willem. And so if I wanted to interact with Deputy Willem, so long as I am within 50 yards of his vicinity, I can press the letter G and my character will then run to his location and begin interacting with him and showing the quest dialogue or the vendor dialogue or whatever it may be. And so for those who have had vision in the past, understand that the text for the quest dialogue is a yellow background with brown text. It's really gaudy. It's really hard to see, even when I had better vision. And so now I'm going to be able to listen to the story of the game, interact with the quest, accept rewards from the quest, and do so without ever having to touch the mouse and having it read to me everything that I need to know and do within the quest audibly. And so I'm going to go ahead and give you an example of that right now. By pressing G on Deputy Willem, I will go ahead and navigate to his location and begin my interaction.
Deputy Willem level 18, quest plus.
So it brings up the menu and it tells you that this is a quest. Now, with this being open, I'm within a menu system. If I go to the left,
local plus,
I go to the main menu, which right now it just says local, but if I were to scroll up or down, there are other options within that menu, and I'll depict those later in a more detailed video that goes through all of those different settings and how they impact the environment and the mod when playing the game, because they do have an impact. You can do a lot of different things with it, but for now we're going to focus just on questing. So
quest plus,
we're going to listen to the quest.
details plus.
The quest has some details, and because it says plus, that means I can hit the right arrow to get more information.
Text, a threat within.
So the quest is called A Threat Within. Now, there's no more dialogue to the right. So now if I want to scroll through the text menu, I just tap the down arrow and it will begin to read to me the next area.
Text, I hope you strap your belt untight, young warlock, because there is work to do here in Northshire. And I don't mean farming. The Stormwind guards are hard pressed to keep the peace here, with so many of us in distant lands and so many threats pressing close. And so we're enlisting the aid of anyone willing to defend their home and their alliance. If you're here to answer the call, then speak with my superior, Marshal McBride. He's inside the abbey behind me.
So, listening to the quest, I understand that there's some things going on within the world, and I need to go and talk to the marshal inside the abbey. So now there's a couple of different things that I could do. I could scroll down further to see if there are any quest rewards available to me, or I can hit the space bar to just accept the quest. For this example, I'm going to go ahead and continue through the rest of the quest pane.
Text, quest objectives. Text, speak with Marshal McBride. Accept plus.
So there's no rewards. My job is only to talk to Marshal McBride, and now I can accept the quest. By getting all the way down to the accept button, I can hit the right arrow, and it will give me left or right click options.
Left click. Right click. Left click.
And that would interact with that object. So I could then press enter to interact with whether I want to left click or right click. Or again, as had been set up in World of Warcraft previously, I can skip the quest dialogue by simply hitting spacebar
Deputy Willem.
to accept the quest. Now that I have my first quest accepted, I need to be able to know how I'm going to navigate to my quest location so that I can go ahead and perform the task that's been requested to me. So there are some hotkeys that are already pre-designed in World of Warcraft for activating various interface panes. In this instance, I'm going to press the L button. That's going to activate my quest log. Once a quest log is activated, it lists you on a thing called current quests. as you heard it say earlier when I pressed the L key. There are also some other options within this window. So I have my current quests,
Quest database plus.
I have the quest database,
Options plus.
and I have options. All of these have different things within them that help you to determine what you're going to do within your quest log, including navigating to quests that you may not have picked up yet, or interacting with the quests that you have, or setting different variables in how you want the quest log to behave.
Current quests plus.
We're going to go ahead and go over to the current quests, which you can do by either arrowing to it or pressing 1 in the menu. I'll go over some of those shortcut keys later.
All plus.
So now if I hit the right arrow, it gives me the list. I have all quests. If I hit right, it will then list the quests. Plus. If I go back to the left,
all plus.
I'm back in all quests. If I hit down,
Northshire Valley plus.
I can then get the quests dictated to me by area. So in this case, it's Northshire Valley. And so then if I right arrow, it gives me my quest. Now, when I listen to that, it says a threat within yellow. Yellow indicates that the quest is something that is for my current level. I am within 2 levels below or 2 levels above that quest objective, making it yellow. This is usually a relatively optimal point to start with some quests, but as the game progresses, you really want to focus on quests where the screen reader dictates to you that they are green. It just makes the game a lot easier to manage. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the right arrow, and it's going to give me some additional options.
Quest start plus.
So I can either look at the quest start,
delivery plus,
or I can look at the delivery in this quest. Quest start indicates
quest start plus.
Your quest giver. Who gave you the quest? Where did it come from?
Deputy Willem. Quest giver
came from
plus.
Deputy Willem. If I hit the right arrow again after the plus,
route plus.
I have the choice of a route,
close route plus,
or a close route. The route indicates a waypoint path that will get me to my location relatively quickly. A close route will do all of the closest waypoints to me and give you kind of a more stringent pathing that will also help to avoid objects.
Route plus 11 meter south, Deputy Willem.
So if I hit the right arrow, it tells me Deputy William is 11 meters south of me in Elwyn Forest. So it gives you a pretty good idea of what's going on in the game world.
Deputy Willem, quest giver plus, quest start plus.
So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to go back to delivery.
Marshall McBride, quest giver
and
plus.
It says that my quest giver is Marshall McBride.
Route plus.
So I'm going to go ahead and select my route.
L0, 97 meter northeast, Marshall McBride. Quest
it says that he
is
on the level 0, which means that he is on the main plane of the game. So there are multiple levels to the game, right? Elevation is dictated through the screen reader by levels. And those levels let you know if you're above ground, underground, or on flat surface. That kind of gives you an idea on whether or not you're ascending or descending different variant points within the game world.
L0, 97
so
northeast,
I have that selected, and I'm going to go ahead and press enter.
Following that route.
And it's going to close my quest log, and it'll start to follow that route. Now you're going to hear a pulsing tone. That pulsing tone will come out of the speakers, whether it's to your left, to your right, or in front of you. If you have a surround sound, it will also indicate whether or not the waypoint marker is behind you, to your left or to your right. And so as you start to turn your character, you'll hear the tone move from speaker to speaker. Now, it beeped, and the tone got faster. That means that I am facing the direct path of my waypoint. I am facing the correct direction. Now, there is a secondary method for navigation that you could use if you don't want to use the tones.
12, 11 meters.
If I press Control and Alt, it gave me a 12, and it says it's 11 meters to the next waypoint. That 12 indicates that I am facing the direct path straight to the waypoint. It uses a clock system, 1 through 12. So if I turn myself to the right,
9, 11 meters.
That number goes down. If I turn myself to the left,
3, 11 meters.
It goes back to the start of the clock. So it works on almost like a backwards path to the clock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the left, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7 on the right, 6 directly behind you, 12 directly in front of you. And so
3,
it says 3. I know that I am to the left of my path. If I turn to the right, and it beeps, then I know I'm facing the right direction. So then I can go ahead and arrow up
Still 4.
to that point. So it dinged and it says, oh, there's still 4. That means I have 4 more waypoints to go before I get to the person that I actually want to speak to. Now there's a way to speed this process up. Rather than turning and navigating to the sound yourself, you can press the letter I, and it will instantly turn your character to the exact position of the next waypoint. So I'm going to present an example of that now. I'm going to press I, it turns me, and it immediately starts beeping faster. Why? Because it faced me directly to the next waypoint. So then I can just hold the up arrow and tap I, and it will navigate me from point to point without me having to do the navigation movements myself.
Still 3. Far.
So here we go. I am navigating to the next waypoint.
Still
I've got
2.
3, 2,
Layer 0. Still
1. I'm on layer
Northshire
0. I'm
Discovered
going into
Northshire
Northshire Abbey. I've discovered the
Marshall
area, and I have found Marshall McBride. Now that I've targeted Marshall McBride, I can then go ahead and press G to
Marshall
interact
level
with
20.
him,
Arrived at destination.
and I can go ahead and start interacting with him for the quest.
Hey, citizen. Accepted quest. A thread within. Plus. Accepted quest. Left click.
So, when you
Global
get
plus.
to him,
Dialogue.
you're in
plus.
dialogue.
Hey, citizen. You look like a stout one. We guards are spread a little thin out here, and I could use your help. Period. Period. Period.
He'll talk to you, give you a little intro. I can press the down arrow to go to the next segment of
Accepted
the
quest. A thread within. Plus.
log, and it'll say, okay, I accepted a quest, the threat within, and it's got some additional options.
Left click.
I'll left click it.
Plus.
That tone lets you know that you've just turned in or completed a quest.
Delivery. Plus. Text. A thread within. Text. Ah, good. Another volunteer. We're getting a lot of you these days. I hope it's enough. The human lands are threatened from without, and so many of our forces have been marshaled abroad. This, in turn, leaves room for corrupt and lawless groups to thrive within our borders. It is a many-fronted battle we wage, evil virus. Gird yourself for a long campaign. Complete. Plus.
And so now I can complete and turn in the quest.
Complete. Plus. Details. Plus.
So now, you heard a new tone. That tone that you heard was me turning in the quest, and then the secondary tone was a skew tone telling you, hey, there's a new quest nearby. Well, it just so happens to be that I'm standing in front of the quest giver with the new quest that's available to me. So we're going to go ahead and talk to Marshall McBride again.
Text. Cobalt camp cleanup. Text. Your first task is one of cleansing evil virus. A clan of kobolds have infested the woods to the north. Go there and fight the kobold vermin you find. Reduce their numbers so that we may one day drive them from Northshire. Text. Quest objectives. Text. Kill 10 kobold vermin, then return to Marshall McBride. Rewards. Plus. Accept. Plus. Text. You will receive. Text. 25 copper. Text. 25 copper.
So, for completing this quest, I'm going to get 25 copper.
Rewards. Plus.
I'm going to go ahead and accept it.
Marshall McBride.
And so then it lets you know that you've accepted the quest. And so then I can go ahead and go back into my
Current
quest
quests.
log,
Plus.
go into the current
Plus.
quests,
Northshire Valley.
go
Plus.
to my Northshire Valley quests,
Kobold camp cleanup.
and
Yellow.
see that I have
Plus.
Kobold Camp Cleanup.
Quest start. Plus.
So then I can go to Quest Start, but instead of that, I'm going to go down one.
Quest target. Plus.
Now I have Quest Target. Under Quest Target, I can then navigate
Kobold vermin. Plus.
to what it is that I need to do, or who I need to interact with or fight to be able to complete my quest. In this case, it's Kobold Vermin. And so I'm going to go ahead and hit the right arrow. And this time I'm going to use the close route.
Close
So
route.
it's going to
Plus.
scan, dictate my paths. Hit it again.
199 plus 0 meter north. Kobold vermin. Elwyn Forest 3.
So I have Kobold Vermin that are 199 meters away. And it says that there are probably 3 of them there. And so I'm going to go ahead and click on that.
Following
And I'm going to
started.
start my navigation
Maybe it
path. I'm going to press I,
Still 6.
take me to Marshall McBride, and it's going to turn me around and take me outside of the Abbey.
Quest available. Egan Pelt Skinner. 29 meters south. West. Northshire Valley. Still 5.
Now you can hear it's making that tone, and it says that there was a quest available for Egan Pelt Skinner. But I'm not going to get that quest right now. We're just going to focus on this one.
Still 4.
The video's already getting rather long in the
Dr.
tooth,
Lockhart.
and I want to be able to go ahead
Still
and
3.
proceed with making additional videos that indicate different parts of the add-on and how this all works. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to navigate to the next point.
Still 2.
So we've got 2 more waypoints to go to get to my location.
Still 1.
One
Arrived at
more,
destination.
and we've arrived at the destination. So now, if I turn my camera, we can find out if there are any mobs around me. So it doesn't seem that it's doing any targeting of mobs. So
Passive. Kobold
if I
vermin
hit
level 0.
tab, I can then target an NPC. Now, the one thing to note is that these mobs here are passive, and if you're not close enough to them, you might not be able to target them with them being passive easily. So if I were to hold shift and press the letter I, I can now do enemy targeting. This targets anything that is passive or that is aggressive so that you can identify what are enemies and what are not. And so then I can go ahead and target that enemy, and then I can choose to attack them. I'm 30 yards away, and I'm going to go ahead and attack him with Shadow Bolt.
Combat start.
20.
To attack him with Shadow Bolt, I am pressing the number 2.
5. 3.
Dead Cobalt Vermin. Passive Cobalt Worker level 03. Dead Cobalt Vermin.
10.
Now that that enemy is dead, and I've defeated that enemy,
4.
we need to be able to loot the items off of that enemy. And to do so, you can
6.
either let the targeting system highlight the enemy for you and press G, or you can press the letter H,
Dead Cobalt Vermin level 02.
which hot targeted the dead Kobold Vermin,
10.
and then press the letter G,
Cobalt Vermin.
and it will loot the items for you. There is a way to get it to dictate to you what has been looted. There is a setting to make it do that autonomously, but I find it to be a little bit annoying because it tries to read it to you twice. I have not been able to figure out how to prevent it from doing that because it melds with the Blizzard text-to-speech engine, and it gets a little goofy. So if I really wanted to know what's in my inventory after I've looted something, I can press Shift and 2.
Default 1 General Elwing Forest Sila. Need a new guild with daily dungeon runs and friendly members. Angle parenthesis SRS biz angle parenthesis LF guildies LVL 40 50 pushing to
So
60. New players and vets welcome. DM for invite 943.
I've entered in my chat log system, and right now I'm in the default chat log, and it was giving me some information from somebody who's spamming looking for a guild. If I hit the right arrow,
Communication 1.
I get communication.
1 you loot 2 copper 943.
I hit right arrow again, and it gives me other. And under other, this gives me my logs, and it indicated to me that I looted some copper.
2 you
If I
receive
hit
loot.
down arrow,
Shiny red apple 943.
I've received a shiny red apple,
3 you receive loot. Ragged leather bracers 943.
and I've received a ragged leather bracer. Those are not something that I can use because this character is a cloth wearer, and so that's useless to me, and it will end up getting sold to a vendor later. But this gives you a basic, very basic idea on navigation, quest interaction, and enemy interaction within the SKU mod. On the next video, we're going to go ahead and show you how to work with your action bars and how to use a navigational function that lets you select what you want to navigate to by entering either keywords or searching a list. And that'll be the next part of this video series of how to play World of Warcraft if you're blind. Thank you for watching. Please click the like and subscribe if you aren't already. Also, if you are interested, I do stream frequently on Twitch now. You could just look me up on Twitch by finding HolyVirus2068, which is my Twitch handle, and you would be able to watch me stream and play this game with my wife and other members who are blind who play this game along with me as we get ourselves prepared to continue through our leveling and eventually raiding as blind gamers using the SKU mod. Thank you very much and have yourself a good day.